Atha, an opening the sutra. Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is rarely encountered, even in millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, receive and maintain it. May we completely realize the Tathagata's true meaning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, shiho requires months of preparation. And what the candidates are asked to do is every bit as hard as sewing a kesa or sewing a rakusu. And so shiho is in many ways a barrier, just like taking tokudo or jukai is a kind of a barrier. But I found out this time that the real barrier is not for the student, it's for the teacher. This is an extremely complicated affair. What makes it complex, of course, is my own feelings and my own emotions about it, which have gone from one end of the spectrum to the other. There is for me, a lot at stake. I gotta thank Gerhard. Gerhard, without Gerhard, this whole rigmarole would not have been possible. I am sort of the. I never read directions. Whenever I buy anything in a box, I just throw the box and the directions away, and I sort of piece my way through it. I never studied for exams. I was in college, or in graduate school, or afterwards. I never studied any of that stuff. I'm the great anti-something. And doing shiho really requires a lot of that kind of attention, which is very difficult for me to focus. But Gerhard did a marvelous job, and he directed all of us continuously.
Well, I had a lot of help. First of all, Liz helped me, and then the successors helped me. Everybody of you helped me, so thank you, everyone.
Well, I think that you ought to find a way to sell your services. You could be the Joko Shisha for the white Poma Sangha.
Okay.
That would be very useful. I also want to pay my respects and give my thanks and gratitude to Daishin and also to Daishin. They did everything that was asked of them and more. And I think that they will make very good teachers in these coming generations, long after me and Musai are gone. I'm particularly proud of the fact that Daishin has received shiho. I think that we badly need to promote women in any way that we can. And Daishin is an excellent candidate for that. And she also has the desire to take this practice into the Philippines, which I Daishin, of course, is from another foreign country. It's called Arizona. Arizona is a lot like, sort of like Texas. New Mexico finds itself between these two states. But Daishin is from Sedona, which is in the northern part of the state. And he has very recently started a residential, how would you call it? What is it? Residential what? Treatment center, in which he wants to make this practice part of that center. Of course, I'm very much interested in the relationship between this practice and psychotherapy, and I wait eagerly to see how you deal with it, and with what success.
Very well, I'm sure.
But I would like to call upon Daishin to talk about her experience this week.
He always throws curveballs for one. He loves curveballs.
Well, if I told you I was going to do that, then you would have worried about it.
She would have read the instruction.
Yeah, do you know what a curveball is?
The ball is not quite round.
Well, this week certainly has been full of emotion, and it is from one extreme to the other, like, holy blah blah, what am I doing? To just really amazed and excited and very, very grateful to everyone. I could tell you that Josh and I have spent buckets of tears because this has been very poignant as well. Experience. I'm very aware of the long road that all of us have been on, and the sort of very, of course, unknown roads that's ahead of us. And when I was sitting last night, I was aware of how this is not doable without all of you. And Josh pointed out to me that Rohatsu was happening all over the world. And that was amazing. And I'm also very thankful for the countless times that you have sat on your seat. The countless many times that determination has kept you there, no matter what Mara brought around. And that kind of determination just has been seeping into me, you know. Okay. So I'll need all that. I'll bring all that with me. And this guy here, he's so fiercey, that fierce and fiery. That's the kind of guidance I needed. Because I could easily just mosey along. So those are sort of the main things that, you know, and a lot of confusion. Okay, Garrett, just tell us. I'll just do whatever, because, you know, a lot of it was a fog, in a way, as you know. And then the great feeling of exhilaration, as well as, oh shit, responsibility. I am starting to feel. when people ask me, so what are you going to do next? But all the joys, all the grumbles, every ordinary thing that we've experienced this week has been extraordinary for me. Every single one of you. And all the people standing next to you and behind you and that little dog. I just want to thank you very, very deeply.
I want to first just echo what Daishin and Roshi said about Ryuko. Ryuko is, in my mind, the ideal monk because he is constantly working for others and never thinks he's doing a good enough job.
I learned that, hopefully.
And as has been said, we could not have done it without you, and so thank you so much. And Mushin worked extremely hard too in helping us, so thank you. And all of you guys, you know, this is certainly a week that I will never forget. I think this event ranks up there with my child being born and my marriage is, you know, the big three in my life. And those events had witnesses, and this event had witnesses, and you guys held that container and just allowed us to kind of operate within it. And Kenji and I had an early morning encounter this morning over at the house. Just I brought over some stuff to put away, and she said, "I can't believe that it's over already." Right about Tuesday, Wednesday, I was like, "Oh, is this ever going to end?" But I definitely have that feeling now. 15 years ago, I was living at Great Mountain Zen Center in Boulder, and I was a grad student at the time. And I was supporting myself by teaching. So I was teaching in a high school while going to grad school, which meant that my life was dictated by the academic calendar. And as luck would have it, the 7-day session at Great Mountain happened during finals. So I'm both taking finals and giving finals while attempting to do some semblance of session. And being the young enthusiast that I was, when spring break came the next week, I started scouring around finding a session I could go to. I wanted to do a full session. And I found this white plum teacher named Jutsudo and Sheda, who had this practice center in Albuquerque. And so I trundled on down there to do a week-long session. And during that session, I don't know why, but at some point I started to get a little funny inside. And I was quite convinced that the wall was trying to get me. And I didn't think I could bear another period of looking at the wall. And there was this new sensei, and all I knew was that he was a teacher. And I grabbed him and I said, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And not met him. Do you remember this? We stepped outside. I said, I don't know what to do. And he suggested that do you remember what you said?
No.
I should do? Mr. Roshi told me this story about going through the woods with his son and being worried about being attacked by, I think it was a jungle cat or something. You were in some exotic place.
We were in Alaska,
Yeah,
and walking
bears.
through alder thickets, being legitimately worried about grizzly bears.
Grizzly bears. And he said they had chanted the Sho Saimyo Kichi Jodorani very loudly to alert the bears. He said, "So you might just quietly chant that. It'll keep the wall at bay." It worked like a charm.
It worked for the grizzly bears too. It is, by the way, it is known as the Dharani for averting catastrophe.
That's right.
So it was a particular choice.
So that was my first encounter with Musai Roshi, and during that same session, I was cleaning the bathroom. I don't know how many of you remember, but there was this downstairs area in one of the houses. It was kind of large, it had several rooms. I'm cleaning the bathroom, and this gentleman approached me during Samu and said, "Hey, where are you from?" And my response to that was, "I don't think we're supposed to talk during Samu." And this gentleman's response was, "Oh yeah, you're probably right." And I mulled that over for a few days. And then at the end of session, I approached this gentleman and I said, "I think I gave you the wrong response." And he said, "What should you have said?" And I said, "I should have just given you a hug." So I did. And he said, "Yeah." You remember what he said next?
No.
He said, "I'm from right here." Always from right here. And the next year, the exact same thing happened with the schedule. And I thought, well, I like those guys at Hidden Mountain. I'm going back down there. I like Jiu-Jitsu a lot. I like these guys a lot. So you just never know, where the karmic stream will take you. I don't know. If finals had been the week before the session, I can't imagine I would have bothered to drive all the way down to Albuquerque. And then it happened the next year, and then some years later, and I won't get into all the details, but I found myself no longer practicing at Great Mountain, and it was a very, very painful time. And one of my wife's teachers, she practices another tradition, saw the torment I was in and very astutely said, "You need to get your root back in the water. Is there any Zen teacher anywhere that you trust? Because you're too serious of a practitioner to just not practice. And you need to get back in the water." And this happened in Shambhala Mountain Center. He said, "You're just not a Shambhala guy. You're a Zen guy."
Who said that?
Acharya McKeever at Shambhala Mountain Center. So I called up Musai Roshi and I said, "I need to come see you," and came here. And by then, Daishin Roshi was also teaching, and I remember being with Daishin Roshi going to get pallets. We were hauling big stuff in our truck, and I said to him, would you and Roshi consider working with me over a distance? Because I felt very, very at home here. And although I was living in Sedona by then and it was quite a long distance, I just knew that this is where I needed to be practicing. And so these two gentlemen have very graciously worked with me for many years, and about a year ago I made the decision around the time of my Tokudo to take on Daishin Roshi as my primary teacher, and I've continued to work with Musai Roshi as well. And, I just really love you both a lot. And several months ago I came to visit. It wasn't during a session, I just came to visit, and Daishin Roshi told me of his intentions for Jishin and I, and my first response was to not feel it already. And as we've gone through this process in the last few months that Roshi talked about, it's been very challenging and very rigorous and also very beautiful and wonderful. And my Dharma sister and I have grown quite close over a distance just through these phone calls. "Did you do this chart yet? It's so hard! It's I got all the way to here and then I had to start over. Just helping each other through it. Right up to the final hour, actually. And I'm just, as Jishin said, it's been very bittersweet. This whole experience has been very bittersweet. And I think we're all very mindful of what's happening in the lives of our teachers, and I think we all are really experiencing impermanence, right, staring us right in the face, like that fucking wall down in Albuquerque. It's just right there. And it has been joyful because I want nothing more than to pass on what has been so generously shared with me. And I'm so deeply honored, Roshi, and I'll do all I can to live up to this responsibility. And I just really want to thank all of you, and whatever is to come, you're all welcome in Sedona. And our little Zendo, Kizan and Mushin and I will take good care of you.
How about the treatment center? Are we welcome?
We're too old. They only take young guys.
If things really go south, start a program for
Elders.
But I just have a feeling of just very, very deep gratitude to all of you, and just thank you so much, and thank you, Roshi.
Well, again, I want to thank everybody for participating in this session and this week long. And I was very gratified at the way you sat and the way you attended to your practice. And the fact that some of you have made some strides this week that would not have otherwise happened. I am disappointed that Dining puts this on a par with his marriage and child. Some far more important.
I said it was a big three, I didn't say what order they were in.
Lies. Thank you very much.
Roshi, I'd like to say something.
Sure.
As the grandfather of this operation, I feel deeply pleased and proud of all three of these teachers. And both Jishin Sensei and Dainin Sensei emphasize something in their talks which pleases me a lot, which is the collective wisdom, effort, and compassion that has gone into their practice and their whatever we may call it, elevation? Oh no, that's not the right word. Their designation as teachers. There's a line in a koan, in the Denko Roku, where the teacher says, the merits I have attained are not my own. And the point he's making, which is a crucial point in this koan, is that each of us, whatever good comes in our lives, from our lives, through our lives, it's not, we didn't do it, we had a part in it, but so did, well, actually, all sentient beings. But if we just wanted to look at the people we could identify who were part of it, they are numberless. And I think that is so important to realize, because here they have been elevated to a position of respect, and they're special now. And it's so important that they don't forget how much everyone here and far beyond here has contributed to their attainment, to their merit. And thank you, both, all of you, and Daishin, Roshi, thank you so much for all the hard work the three of you have put into this. It's been quite phenomenal. And all of the support from the Sangha during the session and beyond. Thank you.
Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to save them. Attachments are inexhaustible. I vow to put an end to them. The Dharmas are boundless. I vow to master them. The save them. Attachments are inexhaustible. I vow to put an end to them. The Dharmas are boundless. I vow to master them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to attain it.
Yeah, wait a minute. Just everybody, you two put your Zabatons over here.
Over here.
Here, you get behind me. You ran it. That
Please stay for tea and cookies.